Okay, this is just a part two. I try to pause it, but anywho, I'll just post the other one. Anywho, but yeah, right now, again, the current right now, or the theme has a lot to do with matriarchal. And this is just a continuance from the first video. I'll upload them back to back. But anywho, this is a continuance of the theme right now, the energy of resolving, and how that can look right now. Is I'm gonna give you my example from my experience. I can feel the pull of the old versions of me, because of the old versions of me is what my sister or certain people in my family will call and like see if they can still have that access or connection, see if they can still get that approval or validation or something. And when you're in a transition of learning more about yourself, getting deeper to know yourself and so forth, then you will feel that push and pull, because as you are transitioning and going through this rebirth, that uncomfortability of changing your mindset on how you view family, how you view structure, how you view, again, your core values, your inner world starts to change and so forth. How that can look for you as a woman is that, again, when you are resolving something, you have to literally, it's like a fucking problem. Okay, this person, that person, this person equals this. Okay, this keeps coming out to dysfunction. Life will teach you. It's so funny. Instead of keep adding, you know what you're gonna get when you get with this person, that same fucking results, right? Now you start subtracting shit. You start subtracting, and then life will start removing, subtracting certain people from your life, right? Then your results start to look different. Now, financially, things may change. Mentally, emotionally, yes. And the importance of this is I start to realize, like, with me, I'm just using myself. I start to really see, as I start subtracting people, I start to realize, like, oh, the problem was I was codependent, rather than being dependent or focusing more on my independence. And I start to realize, as I start subtracting people that were codependent on me being there, showing up, answering the phone and so forth, it was forcing me, or not even just forcing I start to gravitate towards being more dependent on listening to my intuition. I start listening to more of what I needed to listen to, instead of trying to force the narrative of, this is family, this is your mother, this is this person, and so forth. But in reality, I had to look at the foundation. And this foundation, these results kept coming out the same. Arguing, fighting, dysfunctionality. Man, I should have got my water. Throat chakra. And so with that, let's get through this. With that, I started to realize, like, my way of having to resolve things, and I'm not telling you how you should go about it, my way of having to resolve things, I will only know because I would know the depths of who I've been dealing with, interacting with. It's not so much who has been the problem. I have to see my role, because in that fucking equation, I was the one also a part of that equation. So now that I remove myself from that equation, that whatever that solution that comes out, as I remove myself as a part of the problem, and that doesn't mean bad or good, then that equation or whatever that conclusion comes out will never be the same. Whoa. So Again, as I reconnected with someone, I start to realize, like, whoa. And this is in business, your relation, and so forth. You start to, it's so vital to see who you're building with, especially matriarchally, men and women. How the fuck can we, bro, I get straight to the chase. How the fuck can we think we're gonna build with people matriarchally, for one, that doesn't even honor and respect people of darker shade, want to work alongside of people that are darker shade? Okay, let's give other women who are of a certain class, who don't even want to support women who live in a certain demographic just because they don't have access to their resources. This is so vital when you are creating and building, to have people who are like-minded, who are aligned with what you're creating, because I'm telling you, resolving the issues at hand when it comes to the monetary system, when you look at currency, when you look at water, when you look at feminine energies and principles, y'all don't realize a lot of these shifts right now is causing a lot of people to step up, because a lot of you are going to be the new leaders. Matriarchally, you are the new leaders of your lineage. As you change the cycle and break the chain, or break the cycle, or change the narrative, you are a cycle breaker, because you're choosing not to bring up your children in certain environments. You're choosing not to keep your children in environments where they are not being poured into, because the people that are surrounding them are not knowing how to pour into themselves. This is on all levels. I pay attention to not just women of any color or creed. I pay attention to all of it, whatever type of status and so forth that they are a part of, on all levels. Because when you look at that, then you'll begin to look at the root of what and who you're with first. Then that shows you what you can expound on and build on. We're right here at the end of Scorpio energy, Scorpio season, right into Sag. This message is so vital, so you can realize that, yeah, what you've been going through, the emotional turmoil, the waters that have seemed so choppy, to now you get a sense of calmness, or you get a sense of seclusion and so forth, because now you're starting to realize, I tell you, the theme around the matriarchal will show you who is really supportive of not just women. You will be able to see who it exposed, who also are a part of the building of a new world and the new nations that reflect core values, that supports genuine connection, truth, and love, that upholds authenticity and integrity. Pay attention to your visions, your dreams, or your discernment. A lot of you are coming out of a lot of things because, again, the Most High, the Creator Source, is subtracting people, because they all will be replaced. When you do the inner work, when you face certain things, all of that money, that shit is tied to your mother womb. All of that material stuff is connected to your spiritual well-being, your physical well-being. Imagine being in communities that, again, you women have the importance to build whatever you like to create, and also build and have the men who support it, who are aligned with that. You have the opportunity to build more, not just secure, because it has to start within, but these systems that are crumbling is because shit is being resolved in the ether. Shit is being resolved spiritually. As you resolve things within you matriarchally, that shit will reflect. I gave a message years ago about certain women that I keep telling y'all do not want to face y'all shit within yourself. There are consequences. That shit will be resolved. A lot of you don't even realize, like, bro, you can be mad all you want to. You're the one not choosing to fucking heal. I will say this to my own relatives and so forth. I'm seeing it happen. I'm seeing it happen. I don't even have to say nothing to them anymore. I'm seeing it happen. Because the way they treated their kids growing up, And I get it, it's all they knew, but the way they treat them and still treat them, and people act like they don't get these messages, or people act like they're just gonna do their own thing. That goes for men too. I had to tell a sister the other day that I had this, inkling on how, you have to be very careful of men who do not and won't try to heal their mother wounds, bruh. I'm telling you from experience, the rage, the anger, the shit that I've had resolved personally that was keeping me at a place where I wanted to hate everything matriarchally. Till I began to love the parts of me and the versions of me that created what I deemed as a curse, but now see as beauty. I was given a mother who abandoned me on purpose or emotionally and so forth. I was given that for a reason, to be able to share these messages. You were given those people. It may not seem fair, but favor ain't fair. Now that you're here, you're seeing these messages, you're realizing like you have the opportunity. I don't mind. I like to see my hair. I love myself. But anywho, like, I realized that I've been that angry ass man. When I didn't even know where to go, who to look towards, I was at a time looking for that validation and approval of my mother. So I realized that it was never going to come. And I started to see my sisters display the same thing, with no support, certain things. And it's not even that I'm blaming them or pointing a finger. It's calling it out for what it is, because I realized they hold on to still whatever distortion, whatever insecurity, or whatever it is they're battling with. I realize it has nothing to do with me. So why do I need to seek that support or even ask for it? And in reality, I realize they're still holding the same wound of the same mother that we all came through. And that's the importance of mothers resolving their issues. Like I said, when I reconnected with them, it's not a mother saying, "Hey, don't joke like that. We shouldn't talk like that," or it's not a narrative that talks healthy and about each other. And I had to tell myself, why? Like, if I know you'll do this with me, I know you will do this with my children or even people that I'm around. So again, it's just calling a spade a spade. And I don't give a fuck about what backlash or people say, "Oh, you think it has nothing to do with that. It's deeper. It's making better decisions. I would not ever want my children, especially my daughter, to be around, as I'm realizing, resolving the mother wounds. I wouldn't ever want her to be around people who degrade her, who devalue her, who talk about her. That's a form of witchcraft. That's a form of like gossip. Gossip is witchcraft, or like speaking ill on someone. No, you have that choice too. I wouldn't ever want my children. They won't. And I had to set that boundary, because that's how I choose to resolve the distorted matriarchal that I grew up in. You have that opportunity as well. You have the opportunity to resolve. And that's what karma is. You're just even you can call it a curse. You're choosing to resolve the issues, the energies, the things that, again, wanted to keep you. Because I start to realize, I see that my mother and them, or my sisters and them, want to be, if you want to call it, a family. But my thing is that a lot of us are here to recreate and reinvent that narrative, because what they call family basically is like enabling dysfunction. They like, it's not really genuine support. It's not coming from core values of truth and love and honesty. Come on, a lot of us can relate to that shit, knowing that these people just sit around, devalue and talk about each other all day as women, gossip, and basically, and wonder why they're not progressing in life. A lot of things is because whatever things that they have going on internally, my daughter will not be a part of that shit. Nah, not at all, because these are people who have their own internal shit. My daughter won't be a part of that. Because as I met myself deeper and her mother meets herself deeper, that's important. Because you will realize that you start to realize like your value isn't dependent on being around people or have anything to do with money or have anything to do. It's connected, but it doesn't have to do with the fact of this pretty much what's the word I'm looking for? Represents me. No, that's real. You know that as you elevate and change and shift whatever your mindset, so does your environment, so does the people that you associate yourself with and so forth. No. But they say birds of a feather flock together. And I realized like it's just not for me. I'm not for everybody, and that's okay. Like I had to really dig deep and realize like you really have to love people from a distance. Because it's like if I see what affected me when I was a child with people, what makes you think that if I associate myself with them and all like this, that won't affect me or have some type of ripple effect on me? It will if I allow it. But what I'm not tolerating that shit no more. So when I say the matriarchal is a huge theme right now, the matriarch, yeah. So anyway, the matriarch is a huge theme right now. Like because you have the option or the opportunity to resolve things. That, and I'm gonna probably make a part 3 to this, because what you're doing as you resolve things, you're not just protecting yourself spiritually, but you're protecting yourself physically, emotionally, mentally. It's so many levels to this. If I don't resolve the mother wounds and shit that has happened to me, then that will give me clear vision on who I need to protect myself from, whether the emotional abuse, the physical abuse, and so forth. These are things I have to resolve from, and that reflects relationships, business, everything. It'll prepare you to be discerning for those very people. You not even just people, the energy that they, this is a frequency thing now. It's like it'll prepare you for why and who you should connect yourself with, and that'll protect you. And the reason I say this again, a lot of you are resolving things karmically, energetically, so that you can prepare not only yourself, but the generations after. A lot of these, bro, let me tell you something. A lot of these men and women who have not chosen to resolve and heal, they don't give a fuck about children. You will see it clearly. When you don't care about your inner child, when you don't care to face shit and heal within yourself, how can I possibly trust you with a child? How can I possibly even trust you with me? And see, that's the thing about protecting yourself and your inner child. You realize like who is not safe with you to protect you. How they gonna protect you if they don't even know how to protect themselves spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and so forth? Because we're coming out of that world. Our children have not been protected. Through divine guidance, they have. Through divine protection, the higher power, absolutely. And some of us are that representation of that too. I'm a clear representation of that. How the very thing that was sent to destroy me when I was very young, I had to realize like this was a woman who has so much hatred within herself, or have not resolved things within her father wound and mother wound. I'm speaking about the mother. How can I not see that you have tried to destroy not only me, but anything that I'm building? That's the importance of healing the mother wound and certain things, y'all. This shit is that deep. Once you start to realize that when people are not willing to change and heal and face their shadows and go within, that liability, meaning that they will destroy everything that you're trying to build or build upon. That shit is real. They will try to do anything. And I'm telling you from experience, when I had conversations with people, I'm like, bro, I'm done with this. I have to resolve this. No one else can do this. I don't have to allow people to have access to me. I don't care how emotional, how bent out of shape they get. This is my life, not yours. You assume that you were in control, but that's the thing about taking back your power and standing in your truth. When you start loving yourself, that's self-discipline. Self-discipline is self-love. You become more self-sufficient instead of codependent. You realize like things, slow motion is better than no motion. You realize how you start to have to build things from scratch. To realize like you have to weed out and remove and subtract the weeds of people who represent things that are not reflecting what you're trying to create. And that's what resolving the problem is, or resolving these issues at hand has a lot to do with. It ain't just going, let me show you on global level. When it happens in the family, when it starts there, it happens everywhere. That's the thing about the family tree or bloodlines and shit like that. Once you start shifting that shit, a whole new world is created. And then you align with those who desire to create that world with you. Peace and blessings. Shalom.